Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where it's been a while for me. Last episode, or rather last mission, was a doozy. It took a while to get through. No doubt about it. We didn't take all that much damage. It was fine. It just took a long time. So that's great. It's been a while since I last played. It's been like 5 days. And let's proceed forward and get these repairs done. We'll send them to settle things in the simulators. They'll get some experience out of it. Perfect. And let's get these repairs completed. Romeo is going to be unavailable for 7 days. That's probably okay. Okay, so there's all jobs completed. Romeo is unavailable for 1 more day. Coach is unavailable for 21 days, and Magus is injured and unavailable for 22 days. So, I want to double check that we didn't take any internal damage. And it looks like we didn't. No problem there. So, as a hypothetical, if we attempted to deploy without these 3 mech warriors, would that be okay? Do we need to tick forward and get any of them back? Let's take a quick look. I'm not going to be too concerned about the mission here. I just want to see what this looks like. So the Epimetheus is not in the list right now. Okay, because the jerry-rig demolisher needs to be moved. This is our other mech slot. So the Epimetheus goes here, and then the demolisher goes... Hang on, that's not a vehicle slot? This is the vehicle slot. Gotcha. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. The demolisher goes here. The Epimetheus should be piloted by... Let's see here. He pilots the... Right, you pilot the carrier. Okay, so Squire pilots the Epimetheus. We can do that. Magus would not have a pilot. Okay, so we definitely need to get at least 1 more mech warrior back. Bare minimum. But it would be ideal if we got all of them back. I don't think ideal is a factor here, though. I want to deploy, and we're going to deploy now that we have Romeo back. So the question is, what are we going to deploy to? Well, after the last one, I kind of want a quick and easy mission. There is a destroy base here. Heavy resistance against Word of Blake. So that's not exactly that. This is a battle. Local government. Okay. It's in an urban environment, but that might be okay. We can negotiate this, and it wouldn't be very much in terms of salvage, but we could run a decent amount of payment. This would almost entirely pay for this financial report. We've got plenty of cash right now, but that seems absolutely fine. Okay, so we'd run something like that. We know we need to move the demolisher here. GV is currently in the demolisher, and that is fine. I want to put the Epimetheus here, and Romeo drives, or actually it's Squire who drives the Epimetheus. Magus needs to be removed. And that leaves us with Romeo. Now, he has skills on the Nidhogg. So we can take Brick out of here and put you in the Epimetheus. And we can put Romeo back in the Nidhogg. Hardcase should not necessarily be in the carrier, but for the time being, this is fine. Like, this is very not ideal. We want to have our mech warriors back, but for now, this would do. So we could definitely deploy like this, but we're not ideally situated in terms of who's driving what. But I think that's as best as we're going to do with both Coach and Magus out right now. Coach is the carrier pilot, which is why Hardcase is currently here. Hardcase, what do you normally drive? Marauder. Hang on. We could maybe do a swap around of the Marauder with Savarok. And then Hardcase goes back in her Marauder. The rest of these, I believe, are all correct. Squire is a substitute mech warrior, and he's substituting in for Magus. Brick in the Epimetheus is correct. Brick is supposed to be in the Epimetheus. Jammer is supposed to be in the Devastator. It says Demolisher, but he is supposed to be in the Devastator. I'm pretty sure. And then GV is supposed to be in the jerry-rig Demolisher. They might actually be the same thing in terms of affinities. Romeo's definitely supposed to be in the Nidhogg. So the only one here who is wrong is Savarok, who can only pilot mechs. He does have an Epimetheus point. I'm going to put Brick in the LRM carrier, Savarok in the Epimetheus. This is still not ideal, but we'll deploy this as is. Darius did not warn us about this being a hard one. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, if Darius thinks this is going to be easy, I'm assuming this is going to be the hardest mission that we have ever played. So we'll see. I'll see you guys after the loading screen. Okay, so here we are all loaded up. Let's hop in and see what we've got. We know that we're going to have some allied Steiner units on our side, and apparently we're dropping in right on this fountain. Okay, sure. There are possible enemy reinforcements, which means there are definitely enemy reinforcements, right? We already know that. So we need to ensure that these guys reach the evac zone. 1 must survive an evac, 4 remain. The primary local government lance is here. They just landed right up over here, right? Yeah, they're here. So we're kind of playing spoiler. I think we spawn here, and we sprint down this road and can engage up over this way. In theory. As close as we can, anyway. We could also head this direction and head directly towards them. We'll see what line of sights end up looking like. It'll be very interesting to find out. At any rate, we've got a lot of units that we just dropped in here, and we're definitely expecting there to be reinforcements. The question is, where are those reinforcements going to come in from? And it'll probably be flanking us, if I had to guess. So now the question is, where are the enemies? As soon as the game gets caught up a bit here, we'll figure that out. So allied units moving up here, that's a Panther. Okay. And what else do our allies have? A Hunchback, a Grasshopper, and a Hunchback. Those are pretty small units. And I see a Nidhogg and an Ifrit here. And another Nidhogg. Oh my. I don't know if we're going to win this, specifically because that's going to be very hard for us to shoot down. Okay, so our Grasshopper is going to need to sprint up as over here as it can get.
No shooting.
We need to get closed in on these Nidhoggs. Very much so. So our Black Knight is going to head up over here. The good news is we should be able to get up there pretty easily, in theory. The bad news is this urban environment is going to be laggy. Not too much we can do about that, unfortunately. This Nidhogg positioning here is interesting.
Hey there.
Now, we're not going to want to be clumped together next round.
Way, double time.
We're probably going to take a fair amount of damage no matter what. If they're going to drop bombs on somebody, we would rather that they drop the bombs on us than that they drop the bombs on the allied units, most likely. We're just going to move up over this way with some of our cavalry-ish units here. The Bandersnatch I'm going to take out over this direction. I just don't want to be all clumped up. So we're going to position it here. That's another Nidhogg moving in. Now, do they only have the 3 units? Oh, there's a Jaeger up there. Okay, that Jaeger isn't very threatening, although it is running dual ERPPCs and AC2s, which is intriguing. I'm going to put the LRM carrier about here for now. And we'll see where these other units end up going. Okay. So the Ifrit moves up, and these two are clustered together. These guys are grouping up a little bit. That Jaeger closes in a bit. Okay. Noted. So next up is going to be our Devastator. The Devastator needs to move as forward as it can.
Move into
Positioning about there. The Crossbow X I'm going to take out over this way to help focus on this Nidhogg. Is the idea, anyway. Okay. Next is going to be our jerry-rig Demolisher, which I'm going to take out over this way as well.
On the way.
Positioning it about here. I just don't want to have everybody clustered up over here, right? And our Nidhogg is going to start accelerating up, and we're just going to position it about here for now, and we'll see what we can get out of that. Our Epimetheus, I kind of want to send out this direction.
Aye, aye.
Okay. That'll do for now. So, spawn protection goes away, and let's see what we've got here. We should also check in on evasive. They probably have a lot of evasive right now. So this Nidhogg is at 9 evasive. Up over this way, if we can scroll up there, this Nidhogg is at 9, and the Ifrit is at 9. Okay, so that is indeed a lot of evasive. The first unit to move is going to be, I believe, this Nidhogg. That is not a very far move, and he didn't fire. 4 evasive. Okay.
Waiting for orders.
The Bandersnatch wants to get into a firing position for him. Unfortunately, this building is pretty in the way. So we're going to have to just move down this road. Oh, that was not where I wanted to turn that. Okay. That was not where I wanted to turn that at all. That was my own fault. Well, we can't fire with the Bandersnatch. It's facing the wrong way. I accidentally double-clicked. And we'll see what happens with this Nidhogg and Ifrit. It's going to be spicy. The Hunchback moves up and does what? Shoots at this Nidhogg. AMS can't fire, not enabled, but it did 20 from 20 hit from AMS. I'm expecting these guys to hit this area very, very hard, and these mechs may cease to exist here. We'll see what they do. We only need one to survive an evac. Okay. Painful. But they did cluster together. Like I said, we may not actually succeed this mission. It's a lot of firepower and not a lot of armor on these units. Okay, so how much evasive did he get from that? 10.
Commander.
Noted. I'm going to move our rifleman up to here, and we could definitely fire on this guy. Actually, quasi-reasonable hit odds on this. 29.8, 29.8, 27.0, 24.3. It's his front arc that was pre-wounded. On this one, it is the left side. So that's the side currently facing away from us. We could also just fire on this Jaeger, and our odds are better here, so I'm going to take this shot. That was pretty good, actually. We hit that with both ERPPCs. So that Jaeger was softened up pretty well there. And now is going to be another enemy turn. So at this point, we're going to see, if we can scroll down, this Ifrit, and I highly suspect that this Hunchback is going to cease to exist now. Personally, I don't think that should be the target. They should go for this Hunchback. But let's see what they do. They didn't fire. There's a lot of evasive there, and they have double AMS protecting them. So it's going to be difficult for us to hit these units. But they did not fire. Now we're going to see the Jaeger moving. It positions here and doesn't fire.
Commander.
Questionable. Okay, I'm going to move up our Marauder here, and our non-missile-based units want to start attacking these guys over here. So I'm going to fire on this Nidhogg. We'll see what we get done here. It's a lot of evasive. But we definitely want to start pot-shotting them. So we did chip through the armor a little bit there. That seems good. We're going to want to overwhelm some of their AMSs as well as soon as we can. But we'll see what ends up happening with the allied units here. The Panther moves back and fires on this Nidhogg, missing it. Okay. It's not the worst choice. It's sad that they missed. There's only 4 evasive.
I'm here.
I want this Grasshopper to step forward, and we're going to continue to fire on whatever we can. This Nidhogg, absolutely. Light him up.
Now it's...
Okay. So the AMS, one of them is not enabled, the other is. We're continuing to chip through this Nidhogg, though. And we'll get it taken out eventually. The question is, what's our friend the Grasshopper doing? Firing on this Ifrit? Okay, that did trigger its AMS. So we're okay with that. Next up is going to be our crossbow. Ooh, hello. This is a direct LOS on this Nidhogg over here. We're going to fire in SAM mode. He's going to AMS most of this, but let's absolutely trigger this.
Now let's see how you handle it.
Actually, a lot got through there. 15 from 40 hit by AMS, and yeah, that was pretty decent. So we chipped into that pretty well. I want our Black Knight to step up over here. We're still pretty clustered together over here, but I want to continue shooting at this Nidhogg.
Now let's see how you handle this.
Only 10 damage in there. That wasn't a lot of damage, but hit odds are low out over here. This isn't surprising.
Waiting for orders.
The Jerry-Rig Demolisher I'm going to bring up over here.
Onward.
I'm not going to fire the eye rockets, but everything else, let's see what we get done here.
Firing.
Okay. A decent amount of armor damage to that Nidhogg, but not amazing.
Yeah.
The
What can I
crossbow
do?
X is the next mover here, and I'm going to position it right here. I think this is a very good place for it. I'm going to fire on... Why are hit odds so low on this Nidhogg? Did we fail our sensor roll? We did. Of course we did. Okay. I'm going to fire this anyway to trigger the AMS.
Fire in all weapons.
We got a decent number of hits there, but that definitely chips into their amount of available AMS. So our Devastator was apparently hitting the rear arc at some point. That's, I guess, fine. We could position it here. This is an interesting spot to put it, actually.
Confirmed.
It's out of the way, and we could fire on that guy if we wanted to. That's actually the best hit odds, so let's take this.
Firing. Enemy 6.
Did we shoot it down? I think we did. Yeah! Excellent.
Target neutral.
So there's one heavy bomber gone.
That's
Next up is our Nidhogg. We could absolutely position our Nidhogg over here. And just take a bit of a snub-nosed PPC pot shot here. And, you know, I think that's broadly an okay thing to do.
Got to the angle. Taking the chop.
We managed to hit it in the correct side, so we can make use of that. So this Hunchback is going to get up. And let's see what it decides to do here. Fires on that Nidhogg and misses everything. Okay, yeah, that Hunchback is not long for this world. No doubt about that. Next up is going to be our LRM carrier. And I want the LRM carrier to be somewhere up over here or so. This isn't ideal range, but it'll do. And I want to fire on this Nidhogg in SAM mode. And we're mostly interested in triggering the AMS, but if we get through this armor, that would be amazing.
Giving them everything I've got.
Structure exposure, I think it might be dead here. Yeah! Another one down.
Enemy
Beautiful.
down.
Okay, so now all that's left is this Ifrit, and we're going to have to
Standing
pot
by.
shot it. Our Epimetheus could position here, and we'll be firing over this building. Mostly we're interested in not firing the light AC-20 here, but everything else.
Acknowledged.
Okay. Triggering the AMS, that is an important thing to do. I think we managed to hit 0 missiles there. In fact, 0 things. 20 from 30 hit by AMS. Okay, yeah. So when does this guy roll in the initiative? That's the question now. 16. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so the Panther moves up and does absolutely nothing. Phase 18 is going to be the Jaeger here. We'll see if it decides to do anything. It might pop out and try to take out this Hunchback, or it might be trying to engage us down over here. Either way, doesn't really matter. Okay, it's popping out and engaging presumably the Hunchy. Oh, yeah. Surprisingly, the Hunchy survives that. So we're very happy with that. Next up is going to be... Actually, that's going to be our allied Hunchback, firing on the Jaeger. Good shot. I like that shot. Cool. So next up is going to be our Grasshopper. And our Grasshopper has some awkward locations it can go. Very awkward. I'm going to position it here,
Moving to position.
but the drop-off there is not amazing. I'm going to fire on this Ifrit. Hit odds aren't great, but we'll see what we get done there. Most importantly, we trigger its AMS. Now, this Ifrit, was this the one that fired previously? Is this the one that fired its bomb already? No, it is not. Okay. So this one has full armament.
I hear ya.
Noted. Our Bandersnatch really wants to get into a direct LOS here, and we're going to fire on this Ifrit. We're triggering the AMS here. That is the most important thing. I'm not going to fire the lasers, just the missiles. Okay, we got a couple of hits there, 27 shot down by AMS. That's not shocking. So at this point, he's going to move, but after the Grasshopper just jumps. I do expect him to go after this Hunchback. Positioning about here and going after the Hunchback would basically guarantee the kill, while also making it more difficult for us to hit it up over here. Not impossible, but more difficult. We'll see what it does. At this point, I'm feeling reasonably confident because we shot down 2 of their heavy bombers very quickly. Oh, what is this movement? Is it going to attack us? It's going to attack no one at all. Okay, you know what?
Commander?
I'll take it. So the crossbow is going to position here. We want to fire as many LRMs as we can at this guy. Light him up. He's got a lot of AMS still going there, but we will overwhelm that AMS very soon. There's only so many missiles it can shoot down. So our rifleman can position about here. From here, we can fire on the Ifrit, or we could fire on the Jaeger, and the Jaeger is definitely the better hit odds. So we're going to take that.
Copy that.
Nice. We took out the arm there. So that eliminates half of that Jaeger's armament. That looks really, really good. Next up is going to be our Black Knight. And the Black Knight is going to move down over here. We'll just pot shot at this Ifrit and see what we get done. Okay. 31 damage. Not the best, not the worst either. Cool. So next up is our Demolisher. And I want the Demolisher to make its way out over this direction. This looks pretty decent. And we'll take this sort of a flanking shot. There's still a lot of evasive on this Ifrit, but that was another decent chunk of damage there. Beautiful. I think that was on the other side. Nope, that's still on this left side, which is this side over here, remarkably. Okay, we'll happily take that. I'm going to put the LRM carrier here. In SAM mode, we're going to continue to fire on this Ifrit. That is all of our SAM missiles gone. But we are definitely through its AMS. It didn't shoot down any there, and I think, yep, we got it. Fantastic.
LRM.
Okay, so next up, I'm going to send our Nidhogg up over here. I don't want to burn too much ammo on this. So I'm only going to fire the snub nose at the Jaeger. We have other units that can hit the Jaeger. I'm saving the ammo here in case there are reinforcements. So we're going to fire on the Jaeger with the snub nose, and we do get a solid hit there. The Crossbow X wants to probably head out this direction for right now.
Let's go.
It does not get an LOS, which is not shocking. And the Marauder could get an LOS out over here. We're going to grab that, and we're going to fire on this Jaeger. Let's see what we've got. We did manage to tag it, and we hit it with one of those autocannon shots. Okay, tagging it alone is pretty helpful. Okay, additional damage into that Jaeger, and taking down a building. Reduces some of the LOS block that they can do. The Epimetheus is going to head out over here. We don't get an LOS. That's fine. And finally, it is our Devastator. With the Devastator, I'm just going to fire here on the Jaeger. Yeah, we'll fire this as is. We take down this building, which is actually a pretty convenient thing for us. I'm assuming this is reinforcements. Right? Inbound Leopard with local government colors dropping right here. Oh, I love it. That's great. Okay, so next up is going to be the Panther. I want to see that move up and engage the Jaeger, which is exactly what it does. Get some internal damage there. The Jaeger panics. Next up is the Hunchy. Also fire on the Jaeger, please. Yeah. That's a really good shot. And that is one dead Jaeger. Perfect. So at this point, we're out of combat, and we can position specifically to take on this local government lance. I'm going to put our Bandersnatch here. There we go. I'm going to put our LRM crossbow somewhere around here.
Roger that.
And we'll sink some heat. Excellent. Next up would be our Grasshopper. This is a good spot for the Grasshopper.
Daniel. Yes,
Then our Rifleman. I kind of want the Rifleman to just sink heat for the moment. I think it's in a reasonable spot. I don't like the lack of evasive, but that's okay. The Nidhogg is going to hop over here, like so. Looks good. The Crossbow X, I want up over here.
Full speed, no shooting. Got it.
And what else do we want?
Yes,
Let's see. The Black Knight is probably relatively fine where it's at, but I'm going to careful maneuver it down over here. And then we'll brace it there. And then the Marauder can make its way up over here, and we'll have this nice LOS.
Ready for
The LRM carrier can position out over here for now.
I'm receiving.
And the jerry-rig Demolisher is going to make its way, I want to sprint, make its way forward out over here. Looks good. We're basically surrounding this at this point. The Epimetheus is not quite going to be in range this turn, but next turn it will be. And our Devastator, I honestly want to have some evasive on, so we're going to move it down over here. Okay. So next up is that Hunchback moving. That's kind of irrelevant. Let's see what they drop in here. Enemy reinforcements. Yes, we did know there were going to be reinforcements, Sumire. Okay, so we see an additional 2 heavy bombers. Specifically, if the game will catch up here. We're currently going into the next round. So we see an Ifrit and a Lindworm. We also see... Okay, you're firing at that Typhoon? Sure. So that's a Typhoon, and we see a mech here. What is that, a Marauder? I can't quite see it. Yeah, that's a Marauder. Okay, beautiful. So, what do we want to do here? We have a couple of movers. They have a lot of evasive. They have 12 across the board. I kind of want to reserve. It's slightly risky because they're going to move their heavy bombers. Let's see what their plan is for the heavy bombers. So that's going to be their Lindworm and their Ifrit. What does that Lindworm have? Okay, noted. Interesting that the AMS Mark II on the Ifrit is non-functional. That's very good to know. They're committing a lot to this, but it should be fine. So let's see what they decide to do. I would like to see them attacking the Steiner forces up over here, but they may well go for us. And if they do, that's fair enough. Wait a second. This Ifrit didn't move. Oh. Neither of them moved or fired. Okay, well, this is pretty over then, to be honest. So we are going to go for their Ifrit here, definitely, in this rear arc with our Black Knight. I am going to get us 1 evasive at least. But let's fire on the Ifrit here. And we hit basically everything there, as expected. Structure exposure on that Ifrit. And we're going to shoot down their heavy bombers extraordinarily quickly here. Now, they've got this Typhoon here. That could do some damage to us. It's just got the 1 AC-20, though. Okay. So this Panther is going to position here and fire on the Lindworm. Okay, it triggers the AMS, so we're definitely okay with that. The real concern here at this point is, can we get these shot down this round? And I think we can, since they didn't move or fire. They just took no action, so I think we can do this very, very quickly. That's the idea, anyway. So we're just waiting on this Typhoon to move, and then we'll have a lot of response to them. We could absolutely see the Typhoon firing on probably the Black Knight here would be the target, or on the Panther. But we'll see which it goes for. Neither. Okay. Sure. I guess we just have a really passive AI here. This would have been a lot of damage if they had actually fired, but they didn't. So the Grasshopper is going to move up and fire on that Lindworm, getting a little bit of front arc damage there. Front arc damage isn't very relevant to us, but it's okay. Next up is going to be our Grasshopper, and I love this position for the Grasshopper. We're going to position it here. We're going to fire rear arc on this Lindworm. Hit odds are kind of low. We failed our sensor roll. Okay. Well, light him up. We still do some damage there. Looks good. Next is going to be our Jerry-Rig Demolisher, and the Jerry-Rig Demolisher, I kind of don't want to move yet.
Yeah.
The Crossbow X, on the other hand, I kind of do want to move that. We could position it about here
On the move.
and fire on the side arc on this Ifrit. Failing sensor roll again. I mean, they're ECM jamming us, so that's not super shocking, I suppose. Yeah, let's just fire on this Ifrit. Okay. 20 from 60 hit by AMS. That is absolutely fine. The Jerry-Rig Demolisher, I'm going to reserve.
I'll just mind my own business till an opportunity presents itself.
So next up is going to be their Marauder. Let's see what that decides to do. I'm assuming that will actually attack. It's got a Gauss rifle and 2 ERPPCs. It could do some serious damage. Let's see what it decides to attack. In theory, it will decide to attack something, right? Well, it actually moved, so that's something. And then it didn't attack. Okay. And it turned us back to our allies.
Commander.
Well, that's a choice. Certainly. I'm going to put our Epimetheus down over here. I'm going to continue focusing on this Ifrit. Light him up.
Firing.
A lot of internal damage there. Did we take it down? Yes, we did. Cool. So -1 heavy bomber. And the other heavy bomber isn't going to last very long. None of them are, to be honest. So next would be Hardcase in the Marauder. I'm going to position that right about here, and I'm going to continue to focus in on this Lindworm.
Good to go.
Okay. Good side arc damage there. I like it. Next would be our Rifleman, which I'm honestly just going to take this side arc attack on the Lindworm.
Moving out.
Light him up. This should shoot him down, probably. Yeah, he's gone. Totally gone. Beautiful. So next up is going to be targeting probably the Typhoon with this rear arc attack from the crossbow.
Move into position.
Seems absolutely fine. I'm not going to fire SAM missiles here. I'm going to fire ER missiles. And the Typhoon's rear armor is not all that strong. So we'll take down a good amount of it there. And the Bandersnatch wants to get up into a similar sort of position. Yeah, this'll do. Light him up.
Targeting enemy backside.
Excellent. So that was a lot of rear arc damage into that Typhoon. It's not gone, exactly. But what we can do here is we can position behind this Marauder, and I want to do exactly that. I'm going to use our Nidhogg. Ooh, right, we're in minimum range of the Daisy Cutter bomb. Do I want to fire that? Yeah, we're a little too close. I'm going to fire this. Okay.
Firing.
That's some internal damage there. That's a lot of damage to that Marauder. We were a little too close for the for the Daisy Cutter bomb, unfortunately. The Daisy Cutter bomb probably would have gotten the kill, but the Jury-Rig Demolisher can definitely get in behind and finish the job. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So we're in minimum range of this heavy rifle, probably. Yep. Okay, that's fine. We'll fire everything that we've got. This should kill the Marauder. Yeah, it's gone. Beautiful. And all that's left is the Typhoon.
I'm out of SRM.
And we've still got a unit moving here. That is our LRM carrier. We can position that right here.
Got it.
And I'm not going to fire Incendiary on this guy, I don't... Actually, Incendiary is probably our best bet against a vehicle. Yeah, let's do it.
I copy.
And he's gone too. Perfect.
Target eliminated.
So now we're just heading to the evac zone. Nope, mission successful. They didn't actually lose any units. That was remarkable. They should have. A lot of those heavy bombers just chose not to fight. So there's that. There was a lot of threat on the field there, but not a lot of follow-through, to be honest. If I had to say I would change one thing about the current state of RogueTech, it's that. A lot of times the AI doesn't know how to use vehicles. Specifically heavy bombers. They have a huge amount of threat to them, and the AI just throws it away a lot, which is sad. No doubt about that. I don't think we took any damage at all. We could definitely take, like, a couple of Lindworm parts, I guess, and call that good. We didn't do that for salvage, but that'll be absolutely okay. We got a lot of cash out of that, and I don't think we took a single point of damage anywhere that would actually need to be repaired, unless there was a stray shot that I didn't notice. We took a little bit of damage on our Demolisher. We took that stray shot, but that was on a Demolisher. That'll just get automatically repaired for free. Vehicles are like that. So, did we take anything that actually costs us time? I don't think so. Either way, we're going to have a month tick here. But that was a pretty easy mission, all things considered. It didn't need to be that easy. If they were a bit smarter, it would have been tough. If they had properly used their weaponry, they could have done a lot of damage to us. But they didn't. And so here we are. Yeah, we took 0 damage from that. Beautiful. Well, it is past time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to take this financial report and head out again. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kentogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.